The Constitution of India, Preamble. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves this Constitution.
Happy morning, students. I hope you all are doing good, and already the exams have started and you all are doing really well. I heard from the teachers. So be confident, prepare well, give your fullest in the preparation, and when you give the best, you will be getting the best results. Okay, children. So we have completed with chemical equilibrium and Le Chatelier's principle in the last class. We were also studying the factors that were affecting the chemical equilibrium, like concentration, pressure, temperature. Catalysts do not have any role during the equilibrium, but it helps us to attain the equilibrium at a faster rate. We were also focusing on reversible reactions. So when we say reversible reactions, lot of reactions in our daily life, like melting of ice, folding of clothes, or I can say folding of paper. There are so many things, drying of clothes. So many things are there in our daily life, and some of them are irreversible also. So basically, when you are learning anything, learn that is related to your daily life also, so you will not forget the concept. So today we are going to learn about a non-metal sulfur, the compound formed using sulfur, which is sulphuric acid. The chemical formula is H2SO4, sulphuric acid, 2 hydrogen atom, 1 sulfur and 4 oxygen atoms. Now sulphuric acid is called as king of chemicals. Something which is called as king of chemicals, like the lion called as king of jungle, just for one reason that it has a good posture, it is a wild animal, and it used to hunt so many other animals also. So because of its attitude especially, it is called as king of the jungle. Similarly here, sulphuric acid is called as the king of chemicals because of its applications that it has in the daily life. Means it has so many wide applications that it can be used for. Like it is used as a dehydrating agent. We know what is dehydration. Hydration means adding of water. So what is dehydration? You are removing the water. Like what examples? When you vomit a lot, we used to pour a lot of water out of our body. That is, the water content in our body comes down. So normally doctor used to give us ORS, that is oral rehydrating solution. You remember children, or he used to advise to have glucose, that is you mix it with lot of water and you take it, or you will be given drips also where the water content is again getting into your body. So here sulphuric acid is used to remove the water from the substance. It is used for the manufacture of fertilizer, paint, and also in the manufacture of fibers and explosives. It is used in the refining of petroleum and also used in the preparation of many other chemicals. So these are the wide applications of sulphuric acid, being the reason it is called as the king of chemicals. Now when we come for industrial preparation, now how do we prepare sulphuric acid? It is a 4-step process, and the whole process is called as contact process. Now how do we prepare it? The first and the foremost step is sulfur is burnt in oxygen to form sulphur dioxide. Sulfur, when it is burnt in oxygen, that is O2, it forms SO2, which is sulphur dioxide. Now this sulphur dioxide will be subjected to oxidation. What oxidation? Catalytic oxidation. The sulfur dioxide will undergo catalytic oxidation in the presence of V2O5, which is vanadium pentoxide. And what happens? It forms sulphur trioxide. The sulphur trioxide which is formed will be dissolved in sulphuric acid. Again, you take concentrated sulphuric acid, you dissolve in it to form oleum, which is H2S2O7. Remember children, sulphur trioxide formed will be dissolved in H2SO4 to form oleum, which will be diluted with water to get your sulphuric acid, which is 97 to 98% pure sulphuric acid. So these are the 4 steps of preparation of sulphuric acid. Now we can also prepare directly from sulphur trioxide. But sulphur trioxide on dissolution will be giving sulphuric acid. But what happens? The whole reaction is exothermic. What is exothermic? It gives lot of heat. So when lot of heat is being given out, the reaction will not be perfect. We will not be able to get our sulphuric acid. See, this is a repeated question in your board exam, page number 89. Mark it important children. Sulphuric acid can also be formed with direct dissolution of sulphur trioxide in water, but we don't use it. Why? The reason is given below. Mark it important. The dissolution of trioxide in water is an exothermic reaction. So it will turn sulphuric acid into fine fog particles. What do you mean by fog particles? Small smog particles which will hinder. Hinder means which can stop the further formation of sulphuric acid. So that's why we don't use sulphur trioxide directly to form our sulphuric acid. It is again dissolved in sulphuric acid to form oleum, which on dissolving in water will give our sulphuric acid. So these are the basic 4 steps involved in the preparation of sulphuric acid. The next page, if you see page number 90, you have a flow chart. Please complete it. This is how they ask you in the exam. Sulphur, oxygen giving sulphur dioxide, which on oxidation with V2O5 will give what children? What is A? A is SO3. Please write there, sulphur trioxide, which on treatment with concentrated sulphuric acid will give what? Oleum, that is H2S2O7, which dash gives sulphuric acid. There in B you write water, H2O. So this is how we will be getting in our exam children. So now we will learn the physical properties and also chemical properties one by one. Now we will learn about the physical and chemical properties of sulphuric acid. Now some of the physical properties are, it's a colorless acid, highly viscosity. Highly viscous means, what is viscosity? Tendency to flow. So when the viscosity is more, it moves very slowly or it flows down very slowly. Highly corrosive, causes burns immediately when it is poured in our skin or any cloth. Denser than water and dissolves in water. So though it dissolves in water, since it is denser, what happens? Density is very high, so it will be in the water only. Now what are the chemical properties? Sulphuric acid, when it is dissolved in water or when you add a drop of sulphuric acid in water in a test tube, you can see, if you touch the bottom, it will be very hot. You can see small vapors coming out, which shows that it's an exothermic reaction with the evolution of heat. That is, heat is being released out. Now if you want to dilute your sulphuric acid, there is a method of preparation. That is, you should take acid and pour it slowly into the water. Remember children, acid must be poured in water and not water should be poured in acid. Because if water is poured in acid, we know it is highly corrosive and it's an exothermic reaction. Definitely spurting comes out and it can even burn your face and hands. So always remember, this is also a very important board question. For diluting sulphuric acid, acid must be poured into water very slowly. Now, if the other chemical properties most important are, it acts as a dehydrating agent. I told you in the beginning, dehydration means removal of water or absorbing the water. Now, when you add concentrated sulfuric acid in the sugar crystals in a test tube, you can see it turning black in color, that is the carbon content that is present in sugar comes out separately as the moisture is being absorbed by concentrated sulfuric acid. If possible, I will show you the experiment in the lab once we finish this. That absorption of water and the release of carbon shows that it has the ability to absorb water, hydrogen and oxygen in any ratio. That process is called as dehydration. Hence, concentrated sulfuric acid is a very good dehydrating agent. In page 91, you have few questions with sugar. What are the constituent elements of sugar? Means what are the elements that are present in sugar? What are the elements, children? Carbon, yes, hydrogen and oxygen. Very good. Which is the black substance in the product formed? So once you get the product, which is the black substance that is formed? Definitely it is carbon. So it is carbon. What is the ratio of hydrogen and oxygen in sugar? So if you take hydrogen and oxygen, it is 22:11. So in simple ratio, how I can put 2:1. In 11 tables, 11 ones are 11, 11 twos are 22. So in the ratio of 2:1, that is hydrogen is to oxygen they have asked. Which is the substance that absorbed hydrogen and oxygen from sugar in the ratio as in water? Which is the substance, children? It is sulphuric acid. So please write H2SO4. So down you have the box given. I'll just read out for you. Concentrated sulphuric acid has the ability to absorb chemically combined water or hydrogen or oxygen in the ratio that is corresponding to water. This is called as dehydration. So concentrated sulphuric acid is a dehydrating agent. Some of the activities are given to you. Try to answer the 3 questions. First one is, when concentrated sulphuric acid is poured on a cotton cloth, what is the observation that you get? Second one, when it is taken in a beaker and with glucose added to it, what happens? Third one is, what happens when it is added to copper sulfate crystals? I'll try to do these in the lab so you can see what are the observations that you are getting, and finally you can include that in the textbook also. So these are the dehydrating examples. See, in the exam we will be asked like, give 2 examples to show the dehydrating property of sulphuric acid. So you can write what is dehydration and list any 2 examples that you know from the textbook about the dehydrating property. Now we will go for the drying nature. Something that is same, dehydration, removal of water. In drying also you absorb the water. That is, drying agents are those which can absorb the moisture content. So this sulphuric acid is prepared or it is used in the preparation of chlorine, sulphur dioxide and hydrochloric acid, because there the water content has to be absorbed. So this sulphuric acid plays a very important role, that is the drying nature. But it is not used in the preparation of ammonia in Haber's process. What could be the reason? Simple reason, or in any preparation of ammonia we don't use sulphuric acid because sulphuric acid can react with ammonia to form ammonium sulphate. So once this ammonium sulphate is formed, we will not be getting our desired product, that is ammonia. So we want the production of ammonia and not ammonium sulphate. So we never use sulphuric acid in the preparation of ammonia. With this, the drying property of sulphuric acid is over. Then we have some reaction with salt, its oxidizing nature. So we will just look into that. Now we will learn some of the reactions with salts. Sulphuric acid can react with salt, that is, when it reacts with the chloride salt, it will give hydrochloric acid. When it reacts with the nitrate salt, it gives nitric acid. That's why it is used for the preparation of hydrochloric acid and nitric acid, which means sulphuric acid can displace these volatile acids from their salt. HCl, salt is NaCl, HCl is volatile, that's why it is obtained separately. Nitric acid is volatile, its salt is KNO3, it is reacted with H2SO4 to get nitric acid. So how does the reaction take place? Sodium chloride, when it is treated with sulfuric acid, you get sodium bisulfate and hydrochloric acid. Similarly, potassium nitrate, when it is treated with sulfuric acid, you get potassium bisulfate and nitric acid. So that's why it is used for preparation of HCl and HNO3. This sulfuric acid has got an oxidizing property, so it can react with metals and non-metals and thereby oxidize them. That is, when it reacts with a non-metal like carbon, when carbon is treated with sulfuric acid, you get carbon dioxide, water and sulfur dioxide. If you see, what is the oxidation state of elemental carbon here? Elemental carbon oxidation state is always 0, right? It is 0. But here in carbon dioxide, if you see, what is the oxidation state, children? Count here X. For one oxygen, it is -2. So minus 2 into 2 equal to 0. X is equal to +4. So you can see it is changing from 0 to +4. So carbon is getting oxidized from 0 to +4. So that's why we say H2SO4 act as an oxidizing agent. What about the oxidation state of carbon in carbon dioxide? It is +4. Was carbon oxidized or reduced? It is oxidized. Which is the oxidizing agent? Sulphuric acid. If you see the next reaction with metal, copper reacts with sulphuric acid to form copper sulfate, sulfur dioxide and water. Again, oxidation state is 0 here, here it is +2. So from 0 it becomes +2, again loss of electrons. So if you see, is copper oxidized or reduced? It is oxidized. Think about it relating to the oxidation state of elemental copper and copper in copper sulfate. So elemental copper is 0, copper sulfate is +2. So from 0 to +2. Which will be the oxidizing agent here? Sulphuric acid. And which will be the reducing agent? Copper. Okay. So that is how it is used as an oxidizing agent. The last one is identification of sulfate ions. See, when you take little sodium sulfate and add some barium chloride solution to it, you get white precipitate formed in the test tube, which are barium sulfate. That barium sulfate, when it is treated with dilute hydrochloric acid, what happens? You can again see the white precipitate remaining in the solution, which means the sulfate salts, they react with barium chloride to form a white precipitate, which is barium sulfate, that shows the presence of sulfate ions in the salt, and it is not soluble in hydrochloric acid. So below this equation there are some questions asked you. Which substance is soluble in water among the products? Will barium sulfate dissolve in water or sodium chloride? It is definitely sodium chloride, which is our common salt. Which substance is the white precipitate? It is our barium sulfate, which is the white precipitate. Does the white precipitate dissolve when dilute HCl is added to it? No, it is not soluble in HCl. Now they have given two reactions to you with magnesium sulfate and zinc sulfate. Let us now try to do that reaction here in the board. Okay, you can write the reaction along with me. When magnesium sulfate is added to barium chloride. So magnesium sulfate, when it is added to barium chloride, what you get is barium sulfate plus magnesium chloride. Please write the answer, children. Magnesium sulfate, when it is treated with barium chloride, you get barium sulfate and magnesium chloride. Now when dilute HCl is added to it, there is no change. We will be seeing what is the change that is happening. Now what happens when zinc sulfate is treated with barium chloride? Again, I am going to take zinc sulfate salt and treat with barium chloride. So what I get is barium sulfate, the white precipitate, and I get zinc chloride. So, magnesium chloride and zinc chloride can be reacting with HCl, but what will happen to my barium sulphate? It does not dissolve in HCl. So, that is what we will be learning in the identification of the salt. So, at last they have given the box to you. Whichever box it is given in orange color or in pink color, please write it in your file, children. Let us assess is there. Try to do it, and the next class I will try to solve all the questions on the board, so you can copy the answers in your file as well. With this, the lesson gets over. So, we have learnt about preparation of ammonia, we learnt about chemical equilibrium, Le Chatelier's principle, effect of concentration, pressure, temperature, catalyst on chemical equilibrium. We also learnt about sulphuric acid, the king of chemicals, its property as dehydrating agent, drying agent, oxidizing property, reaction with salt, and identification of sulphate ions. I will be putting some video, if possible the lab experiment I will include in this session, so which will be giving you a clear idea about the topic that is taken today. So, wish you good luck for your exams, children, which are continuing. All the best, do well. Stay home, stay safe, take care, bye.